Mr. Blanchard, I have a question for you. To piggyback off of her question, from Red Tails to Their Eyes Are Watching God, even Jungle Fever, Mo Better Blues, all of those, the historical significance, Malcolm X, what the historical significance of those movies, how do you pull your music or how do you compose to a time period of such, for most of those, so much pain and indifference, and even thinking about where we are now as a society, how do you bridge your music to that emotion?
The unfortunate thing about that question is that I don't think of time period. The unfortunate thing about that question is I think of the pain. And the unfortunate part about that is that the pain is still lingering.
Right.
And it's still very severe. I'll tell you this. So go back and listen to the opening of Malcolm X.
Okay.
The Malcolm X opening is based on an experience that I had when I was with Blanchard. We were at a summer music camp. We were in high school. This guy named Willie Metcalf used to have the summer music camp for us to learn how to play jazz. And we were playing in the park. And when we took a break, right, he started putting on, he put on a Malcolm X record, the speech of the revolution is going to be bloody.
Mm-hmm.
And, when Malcolm X started speaking, I had never heard nothing like that. I grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We were all about redemption, trying to do our thing. I never heard nobody talk about revolution's gonna be bloody, blue-eyed white devil, the whole nine. And the thing that was crazy about it was everybody there, they knew it, and they were like cheering. And so I felt like something else was afoot, and I wasn't a part of it. So it scared me to death. So if you listen to the arrangement, that's where the heartbeat comes in. Right?
Right.
Because I was like, whoa, what's going on? Not only did it scare me, but it felt like there was something that I had missed out on that I should know about. So I went back and I started doing a lot of research about that. And I kind of figured a lot of people had the same response that I knew listening to Malcolm X. But when I pull that forward, we all have stories from our families about pain and suffering of dealing with indifference in this country, right? I can tell you mine, and I know as soon as I start mine, it'll bring up memories of experiences that your family members have had. The sad part about it is that stuff is very fresh and still very real. So from Malcolm X all the way up to, I'm working on a television show right now called Shots Fired. Mm-hmm. It's going to deal with a lot of brutality between young African American males and law enforcement, right? So that emotion that I drew from Malcolm X is the same emotion that I'm drawing from for writing this. And frankly, it pisses me off, because you get to a certain point in your life and you say enough is enough. When is this going to change? And then you look at the political process that we're going through right now with this presidential race, and it's just like even more magnified that we have to be vigilant to make people care.
Now, do you need to cut this short?
One more question.
Last question.
I just wanted to bridge on that. Now, when I look back over your work, you seem to have been lucky enough to place yourself in these monumental films. Like, is it your point to draw your music inspiration to African American history, our importance, our culture? Is it a part of your legacy to bring us to the forefront?
What I'm trying to do with all of that music is make the pain universal. That's why when I'm writing Malcolm X, one of the things people don't really get, Spike gets it because I get it from Spike. What a lot of people don't realize is that I'm not trying to be a black composer. I'm trying to be a composer who's dealing with pain and suffering. I want everybody else to feel, when I did the music for When the Levees Broke, right? Mm-hmm. One of the easiest things to do was to do some music that was based out of the New Orleans tradition. I didn't want to do that. There was enough music coming from New Orleans that covered it stylistically. I didn't have to do that, right? What I wanted to do was to draw that pain from everybody who's watching it. I don't care what your background is, right? So that's the whole idea, behind all of this. Because I just tell you, another thing that kind of motivates me is that when I first started working with Spike, there was all this talk about Spike being a black film director and all of this stuff, and people had these visions of going to his film sets and seeing nothing but red, black, and green, and kente cloth, and brothers, giving the 5-5 and all of that stuff. And when I got to his sets, man, I was blown away because you saw every type of person from every walk of life on his set. And what I immediately realized was that he gave the job to the best person available. Period. I've seen him fire people who were incompetent. I've seen him be loyal to people who are very competent, right? Isn't that what the American dream is supposed to be?
Yeah.
In my mind, that's what it's supposed to be. But don't talk to the general public about Spike, because that's not going to come across. You're going to hear something else. So there's this constant propaganda that goes on, with certain artists, that takes us away from what it is that they're really doing. And you got to be careful about it, because those are the guys. We didn't know what was going on with Prince. We didn't know all of the stuff that Prince was doing. We should have. We're learning about it now. You know what I mean? So those are the things that motivate. Those are the things that bring all of this together. I'm constantly trying to show people that the things that we're dealing with is based on what America's promise is supposed to be. Pure and simple.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.